Hello there, Jedi Master Shaggy here, and I am so happy to say that thanks to all of you, we finally made it to 100,000 subscribers. To celebrate this special occasion, I'm going to make a tutorial video so you can have one convenient location to learn the OBI-ANI spin, the reverse OBI-ANI spin, the plum flower spin that builds on the OBI-ANI spin, the reverse plum flower spin that builds on the reverse OBI-ANI spin, and how to combine the OBI-ANI spin and the reverse OBI-ANI spin, and even how to combine the plum flower spin, the reverse plum flower spin to one awesome combo. Let's do this. The first spin I'm going to teach you is the OBI-ANI spin, maybe the most famous lightsaber spin in all of Star Wars. Let's get started. First thing we want to do is hold the lightsaber with the blade facing up. Hold it out at about shoulder level. Bring it out to the side. So you're going to want to let the lightsaber blade drop down behind your head in a circle. So when you're doing that, you're going to be holding the lightsaber basically between your thumb and index finger. So you'll be holding it out here, and you kind of push it forwards a little bit so your thumb is facing out, and just let it drop down and then carry it back around to where you started. That's the back circular spin, which is itself a nice little flourish. Once you have that down, instead of doing another spin behind your head, you're going to want to do a spin in front of your head, like that. So when you have the lightsaber here, what you start to do is again kind of tilt the blade forwards, and now the bottom of your hilt is actually going to come behind your forearm, and you're going to do a spin in front of your head. So it looks like that. Now you can combine the spin behind your head and the spin in front of your head to do what we call a figure eight spin. Why I call it a figure eight spin is if you look at the tip of the blade, you can kind of see it's making figure eight pattern. So once we have that figure eight spin down, what I'm going to want you to do is start the figure eight spin, doing the front spin and then the back spin. So front spin, back spin, and once you finish your back spin, keep swinging the lightsaber blade down to your side. So we have front spin, back spin, down. Next, what we're going to do once we have the lightsaber blade down is we're going to bring it behind us with the blade facing up. Probably can't see it too well from this angle, so I will turn around. So let's go over what we've done so far. We did circular spin in front of the head, circular spin behind the head to complete the figure eight, and the lightsaber blade comes down. The next step, I'm going to bring the lightsaber blade behind me, lightsaber blade facing up, kind of looks like I'm giving a thumbs up behind my back. Once I have there, I'm going to take my right shoulder, which is the shoulder of the hand that has a lightsaber, and bring it forwards. As I bring that shoulder forwards, I'm going to drop the lightsaber blade down. Let's see what that looks like from the front. So from this position, I bring the shoulder forwards, and whip the blade forwards, and let the blade come down. So from behind me, lightsaber blade comes down. Once the lightsaber blade is down here, I'm going to turn this shoulder back to where I started and bring the lightsaber blade back up to where I started. And this is the starting position. From which point, I kind of already did that front circular spin, so it goes straight into the spin behind the head and down. Behind the back, thumbs up, shoulder forward, blade comes down, and from here, I can bring the blade up in front of me, bring the blade behind me, and down. And that's the OBI-ANI spin. As you get more familiar with this spin, you can start it from various positions. So instead of starting it from out here, like that, you could start it at your side down here, at which point I bring the lightsaber across my body, and this here serves as the spin in front of my head, into the spin behind my head, down, behind, forwards, and see where I am here? It's the same thing as starting from here. So I could start from a bunch of positions. Start from here, spin in front, spin behind, down. Start here, spin in front, spin behind, down, behind the back, shoulder forwards, back to the start. Hopefully, this helps you master the OB-ANI spin. So once you have the OB-ANI spin down, what's next? How about adding another flourish to the OB-ANI spin to take it to the next level? What that's going to look like, something like this. In the martial arts world, a lot of people call it the plum flower spin. So really, all it is I'm doing the OB-ANI, and instead of coming into another OB-ANI there, I'm doing a reverse figure 8 spin back into the OB-ANI. So earlier, we covered how to do a figure 8 spin. To do this, you're going to need to know how to do a reverse figure 8 spin. So this is just the exact opposite of a figure 8 spin. Instead of coming in front of me, towards me like that, I'm reversing it. So if I wanted to start behind, I would bring the lightsaber blade towards me, behind my head, and there. I kind of like doing it mostly with the wrist, but you can also kind of use more of your body if you don't have perfect wrist mobility, or to just help you learn the basic movements. So if we look at it from the front, the normal figure 8 looks kind of like this. And the reverse figure 8 looks like this. Just entirely the opposite. So I'm doing my OB-ANI spin, and when I come here and let the blade drop down, instead of going into another OB-ANI spin, what I do is I bring the lightsaber blade up while I'm still facing to the left, and then I continue that spin, and I come under, and then I come back. That's the reverse figure 8. Then I carry my momentum and bring my shoulder back into starting position, and now I'm in the starting position for an OB-ANI. So really all it is an OB-ANI, turn the body, bring the blade up, reverse figure 8, and back into an OB-ANI. So you can do as many OB-ANIs as you want, and you have the plum flower. And you can also keep kind of doing that reverse figure 8 as many times as you want. There you have it, plum flower spin. So let's see it from the back. We have our normal OB-ANI spin. Now I'm going to do an OB-ANI spin, and instead of doing another OB-ANI spin here, I'm bringing the blade up and coming under into this reverse figure 8, bringing my shoulder back and the blade up and back into the OB-ANI. So I have my OB-ANI, and instead of from here doing another OB-ANI, I bring the blade up with my shoulder still rotated, reverse figure 8, bring the blade and my shoulder back to the starting position, and that's it. Hopefully this tutorial helped you master the plum flower spin. What about the reverse OB-ANI spin? This unique lightsaber spin takes the OB-ANI and puts it in complete reverse. So the way I like to start doing this spin is actually starting the lightsaber blade down at your side and bringing it up high above your head. So lightsaber blade down at the side, bring it up in front of you. From here, let the lightsaber blade drop down, again holding the blade mostly between the thumb and the index finger. From here, what you're going to want to do is bring your elbow down, kind of tuck the blade under your arm. Once you have the blade tucked under your arm, rotate the body so your saber shoulder is back and your other shoulder is forwards. Once you've done that, the lightsaber blade is going to want to drop and kind of just let the blade drop down. Once you have the blade drop down, bring it back up. Keep going with that reverse circular spin behind your head and back to the starting position. And that's it. So what that's going to look like, bring the blade up, drop the blade down, tuck it under the arm, rotate the body, drop the blade, bring the blade back up, circular spin behind the head, back to the starting position, and do it one more time. And there we have it. So let's see what that looks like from the back. I have the lightsaber blade down at my side. Now I bring the lightsaber blade up, drop the blade down, tuck the lightsaber under the arm, turn the body so the saber shoulder is back, drop the blade down, bring the blade back up, spin it behind the head and back to where we started, and keep it going. That's really all there is to it. Now what if we want to do a little bit more than the reverse OB-ANI? How about we add a figure 8 spin to the reverse OB-ANI? So just how we did an OB-ANI and added a spin to make the plum flower, we can do the same thing in reverse and add a figure 8 spin to the reverse OB-ANI to make a reverse plum flower. So a little faster, what that's going to look like, something like this. So all we need to know is the reverse OB-ANI and the normal figure 8. So the way I like to start this one is starting it with a figure 8 spin. So instead of coming up and going into the reverse OB-ANI, what I like to do is come up and go down into a figure 8. So I'll bring the lightsaber way up above my head and I go down into a figure 8. From that figure 8, I keep spinning, another spin in front of my head, come back to where I started, lightsaber blade comes down, under the arm, and look at that, I'm doing the reverse OB-ANI again. So from the starting position, big swing into a figure 8, and then from here I'm at the starting position for a reverse OB-ANI. So what that's going to look like from the back is a big swing over my head into a figure 8, bring my shoulders back, and I can drop the blade down, tuck it under the arm, saber shoulder back, and I'm doing the reverse OB-ANI again. Practice this and you too can master the reverse OB-ANI spin. So you know how to do the OB-ANI spin and you know how to do the reverse OB-ANI spin. Can you chain the two of them together? Yes, you can. I can do the OB-ANI spin and I can step into the reverse OB-ANI spin. I can also do that same thing instead of using my right foot as a pivot and moving my left foot. I can do the same thing and move with my right foot using my left foot as a pivot. Personal preference if you want to move forwards and then back, or back and then forwards. The key thing to know is when to switch from one spin to the other. So as I do my OB-ANI, the blade drops down, I'm going to bring it back up and go as if I was doing the reverse figure 8 like in a plum flower. So I do my OB-ANI, I come here, bring the blade back up, go into the first part of that reverse figure 8, and then either step back with my left foot or step forward with my right foot, and bring the blade up, which puts me in perfect position to start my reverse OB-ANI, where I bring the blade down, tuck it under my arm, rotate the saber shoulder back, and now I can either step back with my right foot, forwards with my left foot. Whatever I choose to do, I can then let the saber drop back down, and I'm into my OB-ANI. So that's going to look like OB-ANI, come up, into reverse OB-ANI, and back. Now I move my foot forwards and back. Can I keep going all in one direction? Kind of like this. Yes, I can, but I'm probably off the screen now. So let's start a little more over here. I can do OB-ANI into reverse OB-ANI. Here we go, moving in one direction. I can also, that's not it, that's just stepping with the OB-ANI. Ignore that part. Viewed from the back, what this is going to look like is OB-ANI from here, bring the blade back up as if I'm going into the reverse figure 8 or plum flower. Move right foot forwards or left foot back, come up into perfect starting position for the reverse OB-ANI. And as I'm coming back, I'll go back and either pivot my right or left foot and turn around, drop the saber down, and I'm back into an OB-ANI. So OB-ANI into reverse OB-ANI and back. Here we have it. Now what about chaining the plum flower spin and the reverse plum flower spin together? Can we do that? Yes, we can. So first we need to do the plum flower spin and then do an extra half of the figure eight there, which brings us into perfect position to start the reverse OB-ANI. And then do the circular spin, figure eight, and then do one more half of it that takes us down into position for the OB-ANI. Viewed from the back, what that's going to look like is OB-ANI into plum flower, extra spin, into reverse OB-ANI, into reverse plum flower, extra spin, back into OB-ANI. So do that a little faster. There we have it. Or a slight variation would be OB-ANI, plum flower, switch, go straight into the reverse OB-ANI, and then back into it. Just a personal preference, where the only difference is at that switching point. I can either do reverse OB-ANI into figure eight reverse plum flower with an extra spin in the front, or from here, I can, from that plum flower, I can bring the saber all the way across and start the reverse OB-ANI doing the figure eight as I showed you when I first taught the reverse plum flower spin, at which point I go back into reverse OB-ANI. And then one more little piece to transfer us back into normal OB-ANI. So let's review what we learned today. We learned the OB-ANI spin. We learned the reverse OB-ANI spin. We learned the plum flower spin. We learned the reverse plum flower spin. And we learned how to chain these moves together. Chaining the OB-ANI into reverse OB-ANI. And even chaining the plum flower into the reverse plum flower. Now there's still a lot more lightsaber moves out there to master with a single lightsaber, with dual sabers or Jarkai, the lightsaber staff, and even with two lightsaber staffs. So stay tuned and I'll teach you some more lightsaber moves in the future.